Hey guys, welcome back to this place, and if you are new, then welcome here for the very first time. I am Carmen, and today we are going to be watching Season 2, Episode 5 of The Dragon Prince, which means that we are more than halfway through this season, which is exciting and sad at the same time. I feel like this show is going by really fast, so kind of sucks because I want to savor it as much as possible. But yeah, I am really excited for this episode, so let's just get into it.
I apologize for my lateness.
Queen Anya of Doran, how you've grown. Welcome.
Will your regent be joining us soon?
I speak for myself now, and for my people.
Yes, I intend no offense, but these issues require an adult perspective.
It seems I am a crown without an adult, and you're an adult without a crown. Let's just begin.
Very well.
I like her.
After centuries of fighting amongst ourselves, the 5 human kingdoms finally found a balance. An era of peace.
That drama.
But a new threat has arisen to challenge all of humanity. A threat from Zadia. On the night of the full moon, the Dragon Queen sent assassins, moon shadow elves, over the border, and they murdered King Harrow. Sunfire elves are gathering near the border. An invasion is imminent. Even worse, there are reports of shadows in the clouds. Dragons flying high above the towns of Catullus.
Are there though?
When I close my eyes, I see fire raining down. Death, destruction everywhere. It won't stop in Catullus. They will spread their wrath to all the human kingdoms soon enough. The time to stop Zadia is now.
Is he gonna open it? Open it! Damn it, Callum. You have to know what it says. Like, come on.
Queen Anya, what say you?
I am undecided.
Undecided.
I love her.
It means I've yet to make up my mind.
This is why we need an adult. A leader who can make strong choices for their kingdom.
You didn't
Everyone
make
else here was capable of making a
compelling
decision.
enough argument.
I won't send my armies to face unknown danger based on a 2-minute speech. I may be a child, but apparently I'm the least impulsive of us all. Besides, I hardly call "we'll do what everyone else does" a decision. As a child ruler, I have had to survive adults trying to usurp my throne, coups, conspiracies, and assassinations. But sometimes it's not the hard threats, but the soft threats that are the worst. Sweet words can be more dangerous than hidden daggers.
Would you allow
love
me
her.
to share a story with you?
Soft
The
words?
story of a time when our kingdoms worked together to achieve something miraculous. 9 years ago, my oldest friend, Prince Harrow, became the king of Catullus.
Flashback? Flashback? Oh, more King
I
Harrow.
remember the coronation as if it were only yesterday.
Oh, is that his wife? Is that Ezra and Callum's mom? Yeah, it definitely is.
I want to make a difference, Sarai.
You will. You be a champion of love and justice, and I'll be fighting by your side.
I'm sad. They're both gone.
He was a beautiful young king with a beautiful family. And it was a time of hope in Catullus.
This is making me really sad, y'all. So cute.
Are we done yet? It looks pretty done to me.
Yes, it's beautiful. An excellent likeness.
Why don't you join me, Viren?
But this is your official portrait as king.
Yes. And you should stand next to me, as I know you will stand by me through anything.
But he didn't.
Oh, someone's inherited your sweet tooth.
Oh, that's cute.
The night he died, Lady Justice came to me in a dream.
Lady Justice, huh?
She was wearing her robe,
So a boring dream.
May I continue?
Go on.
She said to me that justice was
I
more
love
than
her.
fair decisions and fair consequences. True justice was a fair system. Then she laid before me her scales, her sword, and her blindfold, and told me to choose.
You chose the blindfold.
Oh.
She said the blindfold gives us a way to test the system, that I should use it to imagine I had not been born yet, and that I did not know if I would be born rich or poor,
And
what
make-
color my skin would be, what culture or practices my family would have. That a fair system should be fair no matter the accident of my birth.
Yeah.
And she didn't make any moves on you?
Wise enough to know better.
One day, two visitors came from a faraway place, another kingdom, in fact. They desperately needed King Harrow's help. Do you know who these unexpected guests were?
They were my parents.
Yes.
Hey, wait. Why don't you join me down here? I could use a little extra light.
Aw, he's wagging
Your
his little
parents, the
tail.
queens of Durin, carried themselves with great dignity.
Her parents, the
But there was pain in their eyes.
No, please. You don't have to kneel.
We are here to humble ourselves and beg your help.
I'm so proud
The
of
kingdom of Duran has been suffering from a terrible famine for nearly 7
the
years.
diversity of the show.
Our food and resources. Winter, we will run out of food, and 100,000 people will die.
100,000.
The kingdom of Katalis will share all that we have with the people of Durin.
If you share with them, 100,000 people will still die, but half of them will be from our own kingdom.
We will share whatever we have with them. And we will share in their suffering.
The Titan lives close to the border of Zadia. If we can hunt this monster and slay it, I can use the heart of the Titan in a powerful spell that will warm the land and allow us to magically grow an incredible bounty.
Enough to feed 2 kingdoms.
Enough to feed 10 kingdoms.
We kill one monster to save 100,000 people.
You keep calling it a monster.
Yes, it's a giant beast made of rock and magma. I call that a monster.
Is it intelligent? Does it think? Does it feel? Does it have a family?
I sincerely doubt it has a family.
Then is it the last of its kind?
Why does any of that matter?
Because
I know it seems like this will solve things, but isn't it a little too easy? You said you want to build a better world, to really change things. That's going to take decades of hard work. There's no monster you can slay and solve all your problems. There's no shortcut. It's going to be a very slippery slope. Harrow, tell me you won't do this.
he's gonna do it.
It's our only chance.
I agree with her though, you know, real change takes time. There's not an easy solution like that.
And I thought you disapproved.
I disagree, but I stand by you anyway.
I'm really scared that this is gonna be what got her
We
killed.
traveled as quickly. We found the Titan, but it wasn't what we expected. If it's dead, we don't need to kill it. We just open it up and take what we need.
I feel like it's not dead.
I know it sounds crazy, but it's like right now, there are words he hasn't said to me, and they're all right in there. They're just waiting to come to life. But then once I read it, once I read the last word, then he'll really be gone. Forever.
There'll never be anything else he said to you. I get
Okay.
it.
Thanks, Bait.
It's not dead. The Titan's not dead. Wait, it's gonna end there? First off, I'm just gonna start with Queen Anya of Durin, I believe. I just love her. Like, her attitude and the fact that she is so smart and intelligent, and I love how the exchange with her and Viren, where he underestimates her because she's a child, and she just so vastly proves him wrong for underestimating her, because unlike the adults, she's not swayed by, as she put it, like, pretty words, soft words. And I just loved that she was like, I need more than a 2-minute speech before I risk my people's lives, which is great. It's what a good queen and ruler does. And I just loved seeing her stand up to Viren and be logical about this and try to approach it from honestly the most adult viewpoint there. And she pointed out that none of the other kingdoms actually agreed to help. They gave really non-committal, like, well, I'll help if he helps answers, So I would love to see her interact with Callum and Ezra and all that stuff. I really, really loved that there was flashbacks in this episode, and we got to see more of King Harrow, which I have wanted for so long, even though he's not alive again. He sort of is a little bit, because we still get to see him again, And I loved the moments between him and Queen Sarai, I think. And the small, tiny detail of, like, Ezran stealing the jelly tart and her loving sweets. It's just a cute, tiny detail of this trait he got from his mom, right? And I don't know, it's fleshing out the character more. I really, really, really loved King Harrow's speech. I guess it's not really a speech, but his conversation with Queen Sarai when he's describing this dream that he had with Lady Justice. I loved the cute flirty banter between them, but what I really loved about that speech was just King Harrow's ideals and learning more about the way that his mind worked and the way that he wanted to run his kingdom. And I loved that King Harrow wanted to build a kingdom where everyone was equal, and that he really cared about his subjects, from the rich ones to the poor ones to the women to anyone in between. And it's just such a good ideal, and it just makes me like King Harrow more, even though I don't think he ever fully accomplished his ideal and what he set out to do. I just love that scene, and I love the idea of a society that functions that way, So, while we're talking about society and preconceived notions based on, silly things, I really love, as I've said before, the diversity in this show, and the fact that we had 2 queens of Durin who were Anya's parents just makes me love it even more. Like, this show is so representative of so many different groups of people, and I really love it for that. And I love that it's not like this huge issue, right? It was such a common, normal thing, not even worth mentioning, like, like, oh yeah, these are the queens of Durin, and these were your parents, and like, that's the only attention it was given. Just like Amaya, you can tell that, she's clearly deaf, she uses sign language, but there's no other attention given to it other than that, it's just accepted. And I just really, really appreciate the way this show does that. I'm really proud of Dragon Prince for being diverse in a really welcoming, beautiful, normal way, I felt really bad for Bait in the scene with Ezran and Zim, and Bait is just trying to get, like, attention, right? And I mean, Ezran's asleep, so he's subconsciously doing this, but he's just making Bait feel really left out and sad, and it made me sad for Bait. There's not really that much to say about it, but yeah, it's just sad and it sucks, and hopefully Ezran becomes more attentive to Bait in the future. Callum and the letter from King Harrow I found really emotional because I need him to open the letter, right, and see what King Harrow said to him. But also, I 100,000,000% understand his reasoning when he said it, you know. Like, as long as he doesn't open the letter and see what it says, then... Sorry, I'm getting emotional again. But as long as he doesn't open the letter and see what it says, then he can, one, still have these words that King Harrow never spoke to him, right? So they never... It's like their last conversation. As long as he doesn't open the letter, it doesn't exist, and he can always have something left of King Harrow that he never had before, you know? So he can kind of keep the denial alive that this isn't going to be the last thing that King Harrow ever said to him. It just makes me really fucking sad, y'all, because I understand, you know? Like, but he opened the letter at the end, you know, and we're going to see what it says, and Callum is too, and I'm glad, but I'm not glad. I was not surprised that the Titan was not actually dead, so that's kind of where it ended, with the Titan waking back up. I do wonder if this is where Amaya gets her scar from. I do worry that this is where Queen Sarai dies. I do have a lot of stress related to that, just because she was so opposed to it as well. You know, I loved her and Harrow's conversation when they're sort of dueling, and the guards are betting on who's gonna win, about her being like, is it a monster? Like, does it feel? Does it think? Does it have a family? Why do we get to say it's a monster just because it doesn't look like we do? Its family structure might not look like ours. It's I don't know. I just really love the way that this show questions sort of preconceived notions and norms and all that stuff. And like, what is a monster? I think that is all that I have for this episode. It really got me in the heartstrings. It was tugging on them, and my tear ducts were welling up and all the things. So I think it did really good with that. Let me know if it tugged on your heartstrings and made you feel really emotional and stuff. Yeah, just let me know what you thought of the episode down below. I think that is all for now. So until next time, bye guys.